And as the soft sounds of Mr. Elvis Presley play in the background. Well, it's not actually Elvis. It's an instrumental album of Elvis's music, which I'm going to tell you all about right now. Hello, everybody. Matthew Street, and so happy you're here to visit and watch some of my videos. I appreciate it. Okay, now, how many of you out there, Beatles fans, have heard of the Beatles songbook albums, which came out on Capitol Records back in the 60s? Now, there were a series of several of them. I happen to have 3 of them right here. You have the first one, which was the original Beatles songbook. All right, I'll show you the back of that one. This one's in mono. Many of these songs on this first volume were played in the background on the album The Beatles Story on Capitol Records, which came out the end of 1964 here in America. I'm not sure about elsewhere. I don't even know if it was released elsewhere. But if you have that double documentary album called The Beatles Story, a lot of the background music is directly lifted from this album. The first volume of the Beatles songbook by the Holly Ridge Strings, conducted by Stu Phillips. Okay, so you have volume 1. Then you have songbook number 2. Whole different series of songs. Great stuff, really fun stuff to put on and relax and mellow out to, and just, you know, if you're doing something else, you have this playing in the background, the Holly Ridge Strings. It's fun, it's just fun music. I love different variations on my favorite music, such as the Beatles and other artists. And Stu Phillips and the Holly Ridge Strings, they really do a bang-up job, so you might want to check some of these out. And the last one I have is the 3rd volume, which is the new Beatles songbook. Little plainer cover. I like the cover on volume 2 myself a little better. Here's the songs on this one. So these came out, and I've had these for years now, and I believe there might be a volume 4 or 5. I think they went up to, I think there's like a 66 one or 67, and one that has some Magical Mystery Tour music on it, I believe. So I think there's 4 or 5 total volumes. You can help me, you experts out there who would know. So I'd like to know how many there are, because I'm hoping to get the whole set eventually. Okay, well, that's not the main point of this video. Those Beatles albums are really fantastic. Highly recommended if you want some great background music. But what I learned and found out from looking at the back of the albums and doing a little research is that Stu and his Holly Ridge Strings, which he called them most of the time, but with a couple of exceptions, which I'll tell you about, they did other albums. They did albums, or I should say Stu, conducting various orchestras with different names, did albums not only with the Beatles, but Nat King Cole. You Beach Boy fans, he did at least one Beach Boys one I'm aware of. He did a Four Seasons one, an Elvis one, a Monkees one, and I'm sure there could be others. All right? And I happen to be in my record store today, and I found 3 that I did not have. Yay! It's always like a treat, like, you know, a holiday or Christmas, when you're in your favorite record store and you find something that you've kind of had in the back of your mind on the back burner, and then it pops up in front of you, and you go, wow, wasn't expecting that. So, the first one's playing right now, if you heard it, and it's the Elvis Presley one. Now, let me explain a little bit about the Elvis one. Originally, the Elvis one came out in 1964, and it basically had a cover such as this. It was kind of plainish looking, you know, a color background with some lettering, and that was about it. That was what the 64 original Elvis one basically looked like. This one came out in 1977. This is a reissue of that same album. It's basically still on a Capitol affiliated label, because you can see the Capitol building down there. I'm not sure exactly what that label is. And I have the album playing, so I can't show you the label, but basically it's like a yellowish label, and it shows the Capitol building in the background in silhouette. But this one's called The Great Hit Songs of Elvis Presley, played by the Holly Ridge Strings under the direction of Stu Phillips. And it's got a great cover. I like that cover there, that image. And then here are the songs on the back, which you get of Elvis's material. Really really great stuff. Just, you know, the style of the Beatles, the style of all of these is basically that same mellow, laid-back kind of relaxation style, you know, and I like that. They're all in that same vein. They don't deviate too much from the way the music is presented to you. But I like that. I like being able to throw something like this on. And, oh, gee, I left the price on this one. But look at how cheap I got this thing. It's playing right now, $3.99 or something like that. You know, you can't beat it. The cover's not too bad. The album itself had a couple of scuffs and scratches, but I really cleaned them deeply with my cleaning stuff. And you know what? They sound pretty good. This is the Elvis one right now, and it sounds nice, I think. So that's the Elvis one. Then I was able to find this one. This one I have not listened to and cleaned up yet. The cover is very beat up, but I found the Holly Ridge Strings, hi-fi, mono, on Capitol, play instrumental versions of hits made famous by the Four Seasons, arranged by Stu Phillips. Again, that plainish kind of cover like the first Beatles one again. Now this one by the Four Seasons came out also in 1964 as the first Beatles one did. They have the same style to the cover. And many of the ones that came out in that 64 period have this look to them. Like I said, the Elvis one also, if you can get it, the original version of it has this plainish look to it. And here's the back, nothing much to it. Cover's a little beat up. And here are the songs from the Four Seasons. I'm really looking forward to listening to this one and see what it sounds like. But it needs a deep, deep cleaning. It's an original, so it's on the original Rainbow Swirl Capitol label. But you can't really make it out, but it's very dirty. It needs a good, solid cleaning, which I'm going to do after the Elvis one is done playing and this video's over. I'm really going to clean this one and give it a whirl. Now, the other one I got is not on Capitol. It's on a different label, Epic. And I'll show you the label. Well, no, let me surprise you and show you the cover. Psycho's Platters, Paul, you're going to like this one. Doc Dacus, you're going to like this one. The Monkees. This one's cool, folks, because it's still Stu Phillips, you know, doing the arrangements and the conduction and all that stuff. Stu Phillips presents the Monkees songbook, but instead of being the Holly Ridge Strings, which is affiliated with Capitol Records, this is the Golden Gate Strings. Because this is on Epic Records. And I'll show you the cover really quick here. This is Epic. So I guess they couldn't be called the Holly Ridge Strings. But you Monkee fans would really love this one. This one, I listened to this one just before the Elvis one. Cleaned it all up, gave it a good deep cleaning, and it sounds great. And it's just a wonderful listen. I know like Doc Dacus and other people like Alan C. Records have that Lawrence Hey Tu, Jove, Les Monkees album, which we all picked up. He's does instrumental versions of the Monkees, and everyone got a kick out of that album. I think you'd all get a kick out of this one too, because it's just a wonderful pastoral orchestral music of the Monkees, and it sounds great. You can kick back with a nice cold one or whatever you want. It could be cold milk too, whatever, or an adult beverage. But it's just so fun to sit back and put these on, turn the lights down low a little bit and mellow out. Great stuff, these albums, I'm telling you. Good stuff. I'm always looking for a good, here's the songs by the way. I'm always looking for a good instrumental album of some of my favorite artists, you know, just to have something different. We all love their original music. I love listening to the Monkees, the Beatles, Elvis, obviously, the Four Seasons, but to get something unique and different, you know, when you just don't want their straight original music blasting out at you, you just want something nice and cool in the background. This is good stuff, folks. So again, the Monkees, I've got the Four Seasons, Elvis, and I've got 3 of the Beatles. And I'm going to be working on this collection. I want to see if I can get the remainder of the Beatle ones. And I know there's a Beach Boys one out there, so I'm going to be looking for that. And if any of you have any knowledge about Stu Phillips and his Holly Ridge Strings or his Golden Gate Strings, whatever you want to call them, and maybe you can give me some tips on maybe he's done other artists that I could be searching for and seeking out. I'd really love that. So, folks, I know for sure the Monkees one is available on CD. So if you don't want to get the vinyl, you can get the CD. The others, I haven't researched it yet. I think the Beatles ones are very hard to find on CD. You might be able to get them on a, like a fan club only type thing, an unofficial thing. But officially, I don't think they've ever been released, but I could be wrong. But help me out on that. If you know of any of these being released on CD, besides the Monkees one, which I know for sure has, let me know and let our viewers know so they can maybe check it out if they're not into the vinyl. Okay, folks, that's it. Stu Phillips, the Holly Ridge Strings, the Golden Gate Strings, Beatles, Monkees, Elvis and Four Seasons, and then beyond what I showed you, you got Beach Boys, you got Nat King Cole, and who knows, others. Go check it out, have some fun, kick back, put on some nice mellow orchestral music, and have a drink on me, have a drink on me. Yeah.